As many of you would know, this year has been the most difficult year of my life, without exception. But in this video, I want to share some of the lessons that I've learned that I believe will really bless you. Last year was a great year. I'd built up in my health, and then I'd had a flare up late last year. This year hasn't been great for my health, and I suffered protracted withdrawals, which started in February when I couldn't sleep, and things happened to my mind that I can't even explain. It's so overwhelming turmoil, like you're losing your mind. You can't see anything clearly. It's just like, unless you've been through it, I can't explain it. And I'm still suffering with a lot of the effects of this, but it's better than it was, much better than what it was. But as I get to the end of this year, I think to myself, time has passed, and here we are at this day. It may have been slow, it may have been painstaking, there may have been so much suffering, there may have been so many days of how do I even get through this day, let alone a week, a month, a year. But here it is. Time passes, whether you're suffering, whether you're not, whether things are good, whether things are bad, time passes. Whether you're diligent, whether you're lazy, time passes. And it passes at the same rate, even though it can seem slow at times. And you get to the end of the year of 2023, and there's one thing I say in my videos so often, and that is that if it were possible to get to the end of your life and stand before God and have regrets, it wouldn't be that you had better circumstances or that things were easier. It would be that you had lived more faithfully. And that's how I feel at the end of this year. I look back and I see so many opportunities where I could have been in the Word, I could have been in a devotional book, I could have been in my journal. But because of the things that were going on, it's so hard to be still, and I would give in to distractions and waste days and hours and time, and I regret the use of that time. I'm not beating myself up because I know I've been through so much that's so hard, and it can be very overwhelming at times, and God understands. But what I'm saying is that if there's one thing I could have changed, it would have been to live more faithfully than I have. And it's a regret that we will have at the end of every year that we live, unless we take action and do something about it. We can't put off living, even when things are difficult. We can't wait for something to pass until we start living the way that we want to live for God and doing the things that we're called to do. Because if we do that, we'll never get around to doing it. A whole lifetime will pass, literally. It's easy for a day, a week, a month to pass without us realizing it. And then year, and then years, and then you get to the end of your life and you realize you've wasted it, and you think, how did I waste it? And that's why, unless you start today to commit to the things that you've been called to do and the person you've been called to be, it'll never happen. And I don't really care too much about the end of a year or a new year, but the one thing it can do is it can make us contemplate things, which is a good thing. Things that we don't really think about on June the 5th or September the 14th or December the 1st. There's just something about, you get to the end of the year and you seem to think, what have I done with this year? And I just want to make sure that going into the new year, I can use that introspection to think to myself, Matt, you've still got some difficulties ahead with the things that you're going through, but how are you going to choose to live? And if you choose to live well, you're going to be glad at the end of it. You're going to have something to show for it. If you choose to be in distraction, you're going to have nothing to show for it. You'll have both the suffering and the difficulties with the health, and you'll have nothing. You'll be empty-handed, and I don't want that. I want to make the most of my opportunities. I also think of the blessings that come. It can be so difficult sometimes. I love what C.S. Lewis, I think it was him who said, day to day it seems like nothing changes, but when we look back, everything's different. And that's how I see it. I don't even know how I've got through these 10 months. It's been since the February protracted withdrawals kicked in. It's been painstaking day after day after day, beyond what I've ever had to deal with. But at the same time, I think of the things that have happened, the videos that I've been able to create on the main channel, Line of Fire Ministries, the way that I've been able to get up and post regularly on here and connect with you, and the people that I've met that I didn't even know a year ago. It's crazy to think of that. It's like, even in the midst of the chaos and the craziness and the suffering and the difficulty, there are blessings there all the time. There are things that we can be grateful for, people that we meet, and experiences and things that happen. So as I end this year, 2023, I want to learn the lessons that I want to be more faithful for God no matter what I'm going through, and keep my focus on that. Be consistent even when it's hard. Be gracious to myself, but don't give myself an excuse. And I also want to be grateful for every blessing, even amidst the difficulties. If there are dark clouds around, to just be grateful for those rays of sun that are just coming in. And you might just be one of those rays of sun for me, watching this video right now and leaving the comments. So thank you so much, friends. Thank you for your contribution to my journey this year, and I pray that I could have contributed to your journey in a positive way as well. I look forward to 2024, one day at a time, faithfully and with gratitude, doing our best for the Lord. God bless you.